Hey traders, we are back with another episode of our weekly review series. Let's quickly take a look at what happened this week. Taking a look at the performance, we had grown this week around 3% compared to the 6% last week. Not a big growth, but it's still not a loss week, so that's still okay. The win rate has taken a hit. It's around at 40%. Still not very bad. At the same time, it's beyond or less than our target of 50%. The average win to loss has also taken a hit. Earlier it was 1.3, now it's around 1.1. Probably something to do with not maximizing the winners or not cutting down the losers. So let's take a look at it when we go into the in-depth analysis. Our max drawdown is still around 6%. This is something we had set in as a goal to reduce this to 4%, but that has not worked out clearly. Probably let's see what would have caused this. So overall, not a great week. A lot of improvements probably to work on in the upcoming weeks. And quickly taking a look at how the trades have been taken in the current week. As a rule of thumb, we always want to take trades in the direction of the flow, and you clearly see the week has started with a good flow to the downside. So we started the day of Monday with a couple of losses in the direction of the flow, which is still fine. And we had taken subsequent trades, which are currently a win. So that's still fine. So overall, Monday was not a great day because the day started with a loss and we had some wins. So overall, it's a profitable day. Coming to Tuesday, um, looking at the big opening move. I had tried to squeeze in some counter trend rates, but clearly it does not work out. As usual, it's very risky. So if you see, I had taken one counter trend trade, and then when it did not work out, I had taken the opposite trade in the direction of our flow, which also clearly did not work out. So as you can also see in Tuesday, there are a lot of trades that I have taken, and one big violation that I can observe here is a lot of trades were taken after midday, right? This is something I try to stay away from, only focusing on the morning trades. So clearly, one violation I can see here. And also, the other observation that I can do here is there are a lot of trades in the counter trend direction and also a lot of switching the direction. So I started the day with a long bias, then it did not work out. Then I moved to the sell side. Then I moved to the buy side again, another sell side, again buy side, again sell side, again buy side. So clearly there is a lot of switching direction that is happening, which is clearly not good, and it is reflecting the lack of confidence on the buyers, right? So as a rule of thumb, we always go with the direction of the flow. So ideally, I should have taken all the trades in the downside direction, which is on the sell side. So clearly, I could have avoided many losses if I had stick to those two rules, taking the directional trade and also not taking trades after mid-noon. Going to the Wednesday, we have taken some trades in the counter trend direction again. One of them is a loser and one of them is a winner. Still, I would not call it as a good day because I have violated the rule. Even though I have taken trades only in the morning session, it still violates our rule of taking trades in the direction of the counter trend. So overall, I'm not very happy with the kind of trading that I've done, and especially not happy with a lot of over trading that is happening. Another observation that you can do here is the number in the brackets denote how many contracts were taken. So although that is slightly under control and in Monday, in Tuesday, it has completely gone for a toss, right? Probably because of this panic move that has happened. I had improved or increased the position size a lot. It's at four contracts, five contracts, all the way going up to 10 contracts. So clearly showing how the greed has taken over and let me, increase the position size without any second thought, right? And this also carried forward in on the subsequent days, right? So clearly it says six contracts, eight contracts. It's definitely not my game. So I need to be really mindful of what I'm doing. So let's see, let's take it as a goal for our next week. Let's see if we can honor that. And Thursday and Friday, I have not taken any trades because I was already reeling under over trading and I wanted to stay away from the market for the last 2 days. So I've added a new slide to reflect back on what should have been the case in the current week, right? What kind of trades I should have taken if I just follow blindly my system. So with that, if I look at what kind of a trades I should have taken, the first trade is a loss, which is fine. It's part of any trading journey. The second one was a winner, and that's it. Once I have this, I should move out of the day, not take any trades. Coming to Tuesday, start a day, again, starts with a loss. So we're done for the day, move out, come to Wednesday, we have a winner, take another trade, we have another winner. So that's a good day on a Wednesday. Come on Thursday, there's some opportunity as per the system, which is again a loss. And come on Friday, take a winner and end the week. So overall, if this was the case, I would have been up by probably around 4% to 5% at least, right? A little above what we have done so far. But this is more cleaner and more thoughtful than what we have done. And this is especially with only one position, one contract overall. Looking at the risk metrics, average risk is 4.8%. It's insanely high. And this is something that is not acceptable for us. We cannot take such high risk on every trade, right? And also, you would have seen this as part of the contracts or the position size that we have talked about. This is clearly getting reflected over there. And the largest risk has gone up to 13.5%. This is simply not acceptable by any standard. It cannot go above 4.5% or max 5%. This was also a red flag last week, 8.6%, and this has crossed 13.5%. And if you also look at the number of losses above MLPT, which are the thresholds, this is clearly going out of bounds. It's 44%. That's like almost half of your trades are crossing the threshold. So clearly a huge red flag for us. And if you also look at a day level, this has clearly translated onto the day in contrast to what we have seen in the last week. Although we had some trades, we were closing the day with respecting thresholds, but that did not happen this time. So that's another red flag. So we have a lot of red flags in the risk side. So something that I think we should be clearly focusing in our upcoming weeks for from the risk management perspective. If you look at the key trends, we've seen some little growth in the capital. We are still not above our peak. So let's see if we can continue this. Uh, Overall win rate is still not great. It's around 40%. Uh, it's still in the range of 40 to 60% that we want to maintain. The profit factor is still going down. We have not seen a good recovery so far. And the max drawdown is at all-time low at 6%. Again, something not good for the system in the long term. Coming to the in-depth view, the R multiple fairly decent. We are able to generate a 1.5 R on every winner and lose 1 R in every loser. So that's kind of okay, although this has to be above 2 like going forward. And we have seen average risk has gone up insanely high, and I think it's at the all-time high right now. So something that I think I should heavily position size in the next week to cut down the position size a lot. So let's see if we can work out in that sense. Coming to the random entries, although we have taken some effort in reducing the random entries, we're still at 40%. But one thing to note in the exit side, the randomness has increased. So we are trying to probably, exit out of panic, etc. So the random exits have increased. Something again, need to look at what is the impact of it. Like, did I exit too soon, or was it right decision or not? So that's something I will try to look into it and see what can be learned from there. And coming to the system efficiency, we have on the winner side, uh, some patience we have improved, which is a good thing, that there are some trades which are hitting the full take profit. But then we also have a lot of potential. It's around 50%, right? So a lot of trades where we had closed early, that's partial take profit. a lot of half of them have actually reached the take profit. So that's another indication that there is maximization of winners that is still possible. So this alone could have improved our average win to loss ratio, which was 1.1. Now coming to the losing efficiency, on the losing side, the partial stop loss percentage, if you see, it's around 35% to 40%. So we are very quick in closing the profits, also increasing the potential. So probably this is a trend that I am observing all the while. Whenever I'm very quick in losing or closing out a loser, it's also leaving some potential that if I did not close it, it would have probably reached the target. So I need to be very careful about how to balance it. But let's see how it goes. I still uncovered some trades where it could have reached the target if I did not close in early. So I need to keep a closer eye on it. It's still not very high, still under acceptable limits. So let's keep a look at it in the upcoming weeks. But on the win side, definitely I need to be more patient, let it run up to the target and not closing it early. So summarizing it, on the risk side, the largest risk is dangerously out of control. 13.5% is simply not acceptable by any standard. Trade management, um, I think this is something we have seen in the last week as well. We are quickly exiting winners, some improvement, but not much. But let's see if we can improve it further. Uh, Coming to highlights, I think there are not many highlights in this week, except that some random entries were reduced, but um, random exits also increased. So in a way that would have compensated. But let's still celebrate the improvements that we have consciously brought into the system. Coming to the concerns, the random exits, yes, above 40% improved or increased, not improved. It's actually worse. So let's see if we can control random exits, and the average risk is close to 5%, right? So taking a risk of 5% on an average on every trade is simply not something that we would want. It has to be below 2%. Let's take a conscious effort in bringing this to 2%. Let's see if I can do it in the upcoming week. Finally, the goals I'm setting for myself for next week, probably almost similar to what we have kept in the last week, is to skip the counter trend rates, not encourage any counter trend rate at any cost, and being more patient with the winners, let them reach the take profit and not close them early. So I need to reduce the number of trades in which I'm doing a partial take profit. And let's see if we can improve the average win to loss ratio with that. And finally, being more strict about risk per trade. I think it's something was also there in the last week, although average risk was somewhat acceptable. The largest risk was completely not acceptable last week, whereas this week it's both the metrics are completely out of control. So I think this is something I have to clearly manage. So risk management is going to be a high focus in the upcoming week. So I will probably trade only with one contract, completely reduce the risk and see if I can improve the other metrics while keeping risk management under control by default. So that's it for the current week. Overall, I am not very satisfied with the current week. A lot of mistakes, a lot of over trading, and a lot of risk taken per trade, and largest risk is huge. Something to reflect for me, and let's see if I can, uh, you know, cover some of these mistakes in the upcoming week, and let's see how it goes. Thank you very much. Signing off.